What is the foundation of making progress, either for yourself or for other people, for you helping other people or moving forward with other people, coaching people, persuading people? What is that foundation of progress? Now, let's start off by talking about, if you had a map and you are able to navigate using a map, that gives you power. That gives you the ability to get further faster than ever before to your intended destination. Why? Because you know what to avoid. You know which ways to go. You know the ideal steps. You know what is the wrong direction. You know what is the right direction. And you know what some of the pitfalls are. And that's the same when we talk about making progress with you, either yourself or with other people. Sometimes we just need a bit of a map to help us navigate, a map to help us get to the destination further and faster than ever before. And I truly believe that map is basically understanding people. Understanding yourself and other people is the map to getting further and faster than ever before. And so today we're going to be talking about how to get that map. How do you create a map, either for yourself or for other people? How do you understand the territory better than ever before, so that you can get the most out of yourself or other people faster than ever before? So if you want to persuade effectively, if you want to coach effectively, if you want to lead effectively, how can you determine the map of other people? Can you understand others or even yourself faster than ever before? And I want to give you a couple of examples of how this actually happens in real life. Like, we've been through these situations where, maybe perhaps you're buying a gift for somebody, and because you're buying a gift, you want to impress the person, so you need to find out what do they like. So we do this already. Or if you're choosing a restaurant, because you want to impress someone, you find out what is the restaurant that the person would like. Or if you're choosing a restaurant for yourself, you know what you like, and so you do it more effectively. If you're going for a job interview, you need to know what your employer wants, or your prospective employer wants, and in order to impress them effectively, in order to persuade them effectively, or impress a date. And so we do this to a certain degree already. I'm talking about, how do you do it at a whole nother level? How do you make a process out of this? Now, I want to tell you a story. When I first, when I got my first car, obviously I was a lot younger then. Maybe not this young, but I was a lot younger when I got my first car. And my first car was older than I was, right? My car, the first car I ever bought was, like, I used to call my car sir, because I was taught how to respect my elders, right? And this car was so old. But when I first bought it, and I started driving it around, one day the AC broke. The AC broke down. And if you've lived in the Middle East, we have like 3 seasons in the Middle East. We have hot, hotter, and Scarlett Johansson. And when my car broke down, I was like, this is my first ever car. I didn't know what to do. So I was like, okay, let me go and take it to the dealership. I went to the dealership. I took my car over there, and they were like, sir, okay, we'll look into it and everything. And then they looked at it, and they go and they write down a number on a piece of paper. They give it to me, and I'm like, okay, what is this, the phone number I'm supposed to call you? When they said, that's not the phone number, sir. That's the price. And I'm like, oh. So I'm like, I can't afford to pay this. My friend, I speak to my friend, and he's like, why are you going to the dealer? Don't worry about going to the dealer. There's some garages, give them a call, and they're like smaller garages, but often like far away, but they'll be able to help you. So I'm like, okay. Do you know any? He goes, yeah, here's the number of the guy, and I'll tell you how to get there. Now, bearing in mind, this is a while ago, so there was no Google Maps. So when I was going, this is when you had to rely on people telling you how to get there. Okay. Hi, Marika. Great to see you. Thanks for tuning in. So in these days, you want to go somewhere, there's no Google Maps, so you have to, like, you tell your friend, okay, tell me how I get there, and they explain it to you. Now, I start driving to go to this place. It's in Maharak in Bahrain. And I'm driving, and my friend's like, he told me where to go, and I'm trying to remember. And this is the thing with us men, we don't like to ask for directions. So I'm like driving, and I go, he said right, and then I go right, and then it goes, was it left? I can't remember. Left. Anyway, I make a few wrong turns, and then I'm a bit lost. So I try to find my way. I make a few other wrong turns, and I can't find my way at all. So I'm lost completely. And then I'm like, okay, you know what? Brenda gave me the number for this garage. Let me call him. So I call up the garage, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to get to your garage. Can you help me get there? And the guy on the phone, he goes, okay, yeah, sure. Of course, we'll help you. Where over here? And I'm like, can you tell me how to get there? He's like, yeah. Okay. Whereabouts are you? And I go, well, that's the thing. I have no idea where I am. And the guy's like silent on the phone for a couple of seconds. He's like, yeah, for me to help you get somewhere, you need to know where you are. And that's the point of that story is that one sentence. It sounds like crazy, but like literally a lot of wisdom in the garage guy's answer. For anyone to be able to help you to get to a new place, you gotta know where you are first. And so a lot of wisdom, very wise words. But so you need to know where you are before you can go far. And that's why we're talking about this topic today, is how do you understand yourself? How do you understand others at a whole nother level so that you can get further faster than ever before? So I'm going to be sharing with you something that I call the deep understanding map. The deep understanding map. And what is that? So there are 11 keys to deeply understanding someone. All right. Basically, you'll feel like a bit of a scientist. Like, yes, I understand them. No. But there are 11 keys to deeply understanding somebody, and I'm going to share with you what they are, but I'm going to go through them one by one. So the first one is beliefs. And when I talk about beliefs, what do I mean? So we all have what I call global beliefs. What are global beliefs? Life is. If someone believes that life is a beep, or someone says that life is beautiful, or someone says that life is a journey, they are going to have different outlooks on life. If you ask somebody, you say to somebody, what do you believe about money? Someone says money is the root to all evil, and somebody that believes money will flow to me when required or whatever, they're going to have very different behaviors around money. You can understand a lot about a person by just understanding their beliefs. America says so true, 100%. So you understand what people believe about life, what people believe about money, what people believe about time, what people believe about other people, some women have beliefs about men, or men have beliefs about women. They will affect how you interact with people. They will affect how, what do you believe about work? These are all, like, if you can understand people by just understanding what their beliefs are, it's so powerful. And we're just talking about some of the global beliefs. Now, there are two different types of beliefs. There's one, global beliefs, but there's also what I call identity beliefs. Identity beliefs are, what do we believe about ourselves? I am. Like in my life, I've had two very, very different outlooks on my confidence. When I was younger, I said, I am not confident. I am not able to speak with other people. And now I have the exact opposite belief. I'm still the same person, but I just shifted my beliefs from I am whatever I didn't want to be to I am confident. I am charismatic, I am funny, I can say these things that, like, what do I believe about myself will change the way that I portray myself, the way that I behave. And so I am, like, your identity, what you believe about yourself is so powerful. Marika is saying, yeah, I am is a very powerful statement. Yeah, 100%. We are, like, one of the things that we will strive to do is stay true to our identity. One of the greatest forces of human behavior is trying, like, the force of staying true to your identity. Your identity is so powerful. So when you understand what a person is saying about themselves, I am, then you can understand the person at a whole nother level. So that's beliefs. Next is values. What is important to a person? Like, if you can understand what's important to a person, you can understand what motivates them, what pushes them. Like, for example, when I was single and didn't have kids, I would life was very, what was important to me was very different to what's important to me right now. And so understanding what's important to a person will help you understand how do they make their decision making process, right? And that's very very valuable. So if a person is a parent, sort of like a parent, they're going to make very different decisions than before they were before they were a parent. Hopefully their child looks a little bit a little less green, and maybe their ear is a bit more normal than this child. But anyhow, but when you're a parent, when you're not a parent, you're going to make very different decisions because your values are very different. And so understanding what values, what is important to a person, what is going to give you a big insight. But even to yourself, what is important to you? What are the filters that you make decisions through? So this is something that you want to know. So the second part is values. The third thing is rules. Now, here's what I mean by this. Like, we can have very similar values. Me and you can have a very similar value. For example, we might say, you know what, I love art. You and I might say, I love art, but your definition of art and my rules for what art is and your rules for what art is may be completely different. I might be like, my rules may say that art has to have been done in the 14th century, and you're like, art has to be drawn by hand, or and not sculpted. For example, we have different definitions, but that's the same about feelings. My definition of love, in order for me to feel loved, I need to just see somebody smile. But then somebody else may say, my definition of love is someone has to say to me, I love you, every single day, and they have to buy me gifts, and they have to X, Y, Z. And because we have very different rules, we experience it. I may experience it more, or the person may experience it very differently, or not as frequently, or etc. So understanding that the third part is rules. Okay, so the rules that we have, a person have, and these are kind of related to the first one, which is values. Like, if happiness is important to me, what are the rules for happiness? What needs to happen in order for me to feel happy, or order for you to feel happy? That's what we talk about what we mean by saying rules. Okay, so and then the fourth one is vehicles. What do I mean by vehicles? So let's say happiness is important to me. What do I use to make me happy? Right? Spending the vehicle, maybe for me, is like spending time with my family makes me happy. That's my vehicle. Let's say becoming successful is one of the things that are important to me. What am I doing? What am I using in order to become successful? A job is a vehicle. It's the thing that takes you there, the thing that gives you the result. So a job is a vehicle. A business is a vehicle. what are the vehicles that you use? Let's say somebody wants to feel relaxed, okay? Different people have different vehicles. Someone might smoke to feel relaxed. That's a vehicle. Someone might do yoga to feel relaxed. That's a vehicle. Now, you have good and bad vehicles, but they are vehicles. What are you doing in order to feel that thing? What are you using? So, understanding a person's vehicles will give you a bit of an understanding of the person that they are. So, if they say that these things are important to me, okay, what are you doing in order to get those things? Okay, so vehicles. So that's what vehicles are. Then we have the 6 human needs. What are this is from Tony Robbins. He talks about the 6 human needs, and they are certainty, variety, significance, connection. Like we all have a need to feel connected to others, to feel like we're a part of something, to feel like we're special. So I'm not going to go through all the 6 human needs. I have a number of videos on that, but just understanding that just understanding that we all have these 6 human needs, and understanding how a person is utilizing those 6 human needs. That's very, very powerful in understanding people or yourself. Another one is metaprograms. Again, I have another video on metaprograms specifically, but metaprograms, just in a nutshell, is the type of person you are, the personality type that you have, and your mode of operating. So again, there's another video on that on my in the membership site, etc. You can check out metaprograms as well. So metaprograms. Then we have metaphors. What's a metaphor? Our brain likes to think in metaphors. So I've got this picture over here that life is like a box of chocolates. Okay, you never know what you're going to get. That's a metaphor, right? We have people that say life is a journey, and to a certain degree, that's a metaphor. We have a lot of metaphors in our life. When I ask people, when you're at your best, you're like what? And they can say that I'm like a tiger. That's their metaphor. So they're thinking in metaphors. So understanding people's metaphors and what they mean can give you a big insight into them. I worked with someone recently, and I said, what is life about for you? And they said, like, it's like a video game. That's a metaphor. In their mind, it's like a video game. And then they said, you have to always improve your skills in order to move to the next level. That's what they were saying. And so, and they're like, you get points in life based on the good things that you do. And understanding that metaphor, sometimes later, if you understand that metaphor, you can speak to them in that language, and it will make sense. It will make sense to that person. It may not make sense to other people, but to that person, if you want to motivate them, I'll be like, look, and just think of it. If you want to get to that next level, if you want to do good, to improve your skills, to ramp up the points so that you can move further in life and get to that next level, I'm speaking to that person. I'm motivating that person based on the metaphor that they have in their mind. Okay, so that's number 7, is metaphors. And this is so powerful. Again, I have another video on metaphors that go into this in great detail, and give you an understanding of how that works, how metaphors work. But just understanding that our minds are naturally inclined to speak in metaphors. So the 8th thing is understanding, are they a more visual person? Are they a more auditory person? Or are they more a kinesthetic person? And this is quite, well, not advanced, but like there's a number of ways that you can utilize this sort of information, because many of us are either visual, we're either auditory, we're either kinesthetic. And when you speak to someone that's more visual, you can understand that they might speak a lot faster. They like to imagine, they like to visualize, and you might want to use words that match the way that they're speaking. Or if you understand a person's more kinesthetic, they like to feel. They like to feel when you're speaking to them. And so you can speak in a different way. communicate with them and get them to truly feel the connection. And so there's different ways that you might want to speak to different people, from like speaking in a bit of a rhythm, if you're speaking to someone more auditory. And there's different ways that you can utilize that, but not just in the way that you speak, but in terms of the words that you use. Do you see my point? And there's, you can talk about whether a person sees things clearly and use visual words or auditory words or kinesthetic words. And so understanding of a person's more visual, auditory, or kinesthetic can be very, very, very powerful. Okay. Now, again, also, you want, like, if you're working with someone, especially if you're coaching or leading people, understanding what are people's fears and fears of failure, things that they are afraid of, things that they don't want to happen, things that they're and when you understand what people's fears, perhaps past failures or struggles that they've had in the past, things that they've tried that didn't work out, then again you're able to inoculate that. You're able to say, look, I know you've tried a whole bunch of things and it didn't work. You tried working with people and they let you down. I want to let you know I'm not going to let you down. If you take whatever challenges they've had in the past and you talk about that, then you become instantly more persuasive. If they're afraid of something, you want to address that. And again, so this is about how do you become a lot more persuasive using this. Okay, so Marek is saying, yeah, I'm more visual. Yeah, it's so interesting to notice about yourself, whether you are visual. What are you? Are you visual? Are you auditory? Do you like? It doesn't mean if you like music that you're auditory, but do you feel like you're more visual person, auditory, or kinesthetic? So and it's interesting, like typically someone that speaks very quickly or that they dress super smart, they're very visual person. A kinesthetic person, generally, not necessarily all the time, but they want to feel more comfortable. So the clothes they wear more comfortable. They like to hug others. There's a big feeling over there. So okay, anyhow, I kind of went on a couple of different tangents, but so understanding people's fears and failures so that you can help them overcome that. Then the next one is dreams and desires. What is it that they want? What is it that they wish they had? Like, again, it's not necessarily just the big topics of like money, which is like probably one that's important, but maybe at a deeper level, what does someone really want? What is they truly desire? What is their ideal vision? What are they going to be seeing, hearing, and feeling when they are achieving what they want? Getting to know their dreams and desires is so powerful. So that's number 10. And then number 11 is motive for action. And this is basically motivation, but I like to say motive for action. Motivation is simply motive for action. Why is it that people will do what they want to do? Okay, let me repeat that. Why is it that you want to do what you want to do? Motive for action, right? That's simply what motivation is. Why someone really wants to do what it is that they want to do. And when you just understand a person's why, if someone comes to you for changing, they want to change, they want to take themselves to the next level, if you understand why, and why they really want that, that is one of the biggest motivators that you can use for getting people results. Even understanding your own motivation. Half the time when I've wanted to transform areas of my life, when I wanted to start doing these like live videos daily or whatever it was, I got clear on my why. I literally take some time out to just say, why is this important to me? And I ask myself that question, and I might write it down. And I just said, okay, why is this important to me? It's important to me because I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. It gives me this. It stops me from doing this, etc., etc. So your why is so powerful. So get clear on your motive for action, your motivation, your motive for action. So these are the 11 steps. This is the 11 keys to deep understanding. I hope you found this very useful. Let me just share that these are the 11 keys to deep understanding. And you go through these, and there's different templates that I have of questions that you can ask that help you determine a whole bunch of these. But understanding this at a deep level is so powerful, and will help you get further faster than ever before. So that's my 11 keys to deep understanding. And I want you to remember the phrase of the day, which is, know where you are before you can go far. Now that applies to yourself or to other people, but you got to know where you are before you can go far. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate every one of you. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you have not, please do subscribe to my channel below. And if you like this content, definitely go and check out mastermindnlp.com, and you can find out more about how I share this whole system. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate every one of you. If you haven't, again, please do subscribe to my channel. I appreciate all of you. Peace out, one love, and I will see you on another video very soon. Bye for now. Thank you.